companies recruiting talent or just writing a letter to Santa Claus? Why does corporate recruiting feel like a dating app? One day job recruiting posts say, "We don't hire based on technical knowledge, but on potential." The next day they post a job listing that requires 5 years of experience in a software that has only been popular for 3. Expertise in 3 unrelated roles, because why not? Soft skills of a born leader with the salary of an intern. Welcome to corporate recruiting, a world where job descriptions sound like wish lists for Santa and interviews feel more like Tinder dates than hiring processes. Today on 277 Broadcast, we're exposing how many companies and recruiters don't actually understand the profiles they're hiring for, hide their flaws behind motivational LinkedIn quotes, and then act shocked when employees quit within a year. Have you ever read, "We hire for potential, not just technical skills"? But then you open the job description and see 10 years of experience in something that's only been around for 6. Mastery of 10 different tools, 5 of which do the exact same thing. A master's degree, certifications and fluency in 3 languages for an entry-level position. If we translate this to the world of dating apps, it's like everyone claiming to look for real love, yet expecting their potential partner to be financially successful, tall, handsome, fit, and from a perfect family and so on. Do you see the idea? If companies truly hired for potential, then why do job listings look like the curriculum for a PhD at MIT? And here's the real issue. Companies often have no idea what they're looking for. They confuse data science, data engineering, and analytics as if they were the same thing. They want a natural communicator who also happens to be an expert in Python, SQL, and machine learning, and makes coffee without being asked. They're recruiting a corporate chimera, a Frankenstein professional they wouldn't even recognize if they found them. Corporate recruiting is more about spreading branding, empty phrases, and unwanted advice. Here is another classic line. Resumes don't matter, we care about the person's story. But if your bullet points aren't perfectly formatted, your application gets trashed in 10 seconds. At the same time, social media is full of self-help posts like, "It doesn't matter how many times you get rejected. Keep trying." Sure, a super realistic piece of advice. Talent always finds its way. Unless you're over 40, in which case you're not a cultural fit. Companies don't want employees, they want leaders. But they pay salaries as if they were hiring part-time assistants. Motivational LinkedIn posts don't pay the bills, and branding won't fix hiring processes that seem designed by someone with ADHD. Now, who evaluates whom? According to Harvard Business Review, over 65% of recruiters in tech companies don't fully understand the technical requirements of the roles they're hiring for. Hey, can you interview this candidate for cardiovascular surgery? You don't need to understand the techniques, just check if they smile and have good vibes. Does this mean non-technical profiles shouldn't be involved in the process? Not at all. In fact, they're essential for catching things tech experts often overlook. Inflated egos, poor communication, that "I'm the genius in the room" attitude. But what you can't do is ask them to evaluate someone's proficiency in Terraform, Spark, or MLOps when they can barely tell Python from the emoji. Companies are still recruiting like it's the last century, and if we're being honest, they're selecting talent with about the same accuracy as picking lottery tickets. The big hypocrisy. They announce new hires but never the departures. We've hired 200 people this quarter, but what they never tell you, how many quit within a year, what their employee retention rate actually is, what workers really think in internal surveys, how the CEO feels about their massive turnover problem. If they're hiring the best talent, why are people leaving so quickly? Hiring a ton of people means nothing if half of them quit before their first work anniversary. It's like bragging about all your Tinder dates, without mentioning none of them made it past the first meeting. The job market is starting to feel like a dating app, isn't it? How does recruiting work these days? First, the company posts a job listing that sounds like it was written by a hyperactive startup guru with a LinkedIn premium subscription and too much coffee. We're a family. Dynamic and fast-paced environment. Purpose, impact, growth, competitive salary. We're looking for ninjas, rock stars, changemakers, and wizards of synergy. And hey, if you could also be resilient, radiate positivity, and speak 5 languages for emotional compensation, even better. It's basically a Tinder profile that says, "I'm a vegan triathlete with 2 graduate degrees, an activist for alpaca rights, a millionaire heiress, and I translate Tolstoy into Sumerian in my spare time. Guess what? It's about image, culture fit, and making a match, not whether you're actually good at your job. How do we fix this? Companies should understand social phenomena instead of just managing social media. They should be honest about their turnover rates and work environment. Recruiting should be more realistic and less absurd. If companies were as good at finding talent as they are at posting motivational quotes on LinkedIn, employee turnover would be a lot lower. Subscribe to 277 Broadcast. And remember, if they really hired for potential, I could be an astronaut at NASA with enough positive attitude.